Today I want to have a talk, a diary about the economy. Something is going on. I see videos every day about people talking about how houses are getting cheaper, but when I look online, they're still expensive. I look around and see videos about how we're hitting the recession and how everybody is like, stop purchasing stuff and going on vacations. But when I go to the stores, the rich neighborhoods, that's the one. I see lots of people, way more people than before, way more people than when things were going good. So now everybody's shopping. What else? Apparently, cars are so pricey nobody can afford them. But somehow, I see new cars on the road all day long. What else? What else? I don't know what else. It'll come to my head. Oh, and then I hear that groceries are going down in price, but still, I see my cheese shrink. They're giving me more plastic bag than there's cheese in it. At some point, just stop putting cheese in that bag because you're just wasting more money in the plastic. So that brings me to that good point. What is going on? What is the reality of it? If I keep seeing the opposite in real life versus online, it always has me wondering, am I more informed because I watch what's going on in the world? Or am I less informed because I watch what's going on around the world? Because the internet will say one thing, but the reality I see with my eyes is something else. So it's really tricky. So apparently McDonald's, I hear that McDonald's is doing terrible because their food prices are high as hell. That's a fact. And somehow they announce that they're going to open 900 more stores of McDonald's. So what's going on? Why do we have conflictive information? If things are going bad, then you would see things going bad. But in fact, we see the opposite. We see, I don't know, people would say, well, the solution is because they're faking it until they make it. Are you keeping up with the Joneses? Now, I don't know how long that can go on and if it's even going on. So it's very, very tricky. Watching this news, I'm feeling like I'm more uninformed because I don't see it. Maybe it's because I'm in Austin. Austin operates a whole lot different than the entire country because we got the rich Californians over here, the New Yorkers, and everybody in between. And that's boosting up everything else around the area while other states are not being boosted up. Maybe that's what it is. So if things are going so bad, people, why are people still not being able to afford houses? I don't know. So it's very weird. And then the stock market is doing really good. When Trump started doing those tariff things, everybody got scared and the stock market was doing terrible because they were selling out everything. And now after the tariffs, everything is even higher than before. Way higher. Bitcoin is like 105,000. Birkenali, I don't know, whatever that Forrest Gump guy, Warren Buffett. It's 500,000 a stock. Everything is doing much better. Uber is doing better. A Tesla, it's like a 350. From when he was in politics, it was like 200, 250. Like, damn, what's going on? So, yeah, I feel like the more I watch, I wouldn't even say the news. I wouldn't even say the news anymore. I'm just watching multiple channels all over the YouTube to get different perspectives, and it looks like everything is fine. Weird to say, but everything is fine. Nothing is crumbling. Every YouTube title out there is like the market just crashed and it's crushing, but I don't see it. I don't see it around me. Maybe it's not. Maybe the numbers do lie. They used to say the numbers never lie. Maybe these ones do. Something is not matching. It's really weird. I see people spending a lot, and yet I see the groceries get smaller. But when I say spending a lot, I mean spending a lot on random unnecessary things. It's been 4 years since COVID. How much longer are we gonna keep blaming this COVID thing? It's done. I think it's time to stop blaming COVID and just start calling it the new normal and just making that a fact. That's it. This is the new normal. Nothing makes sense. And then now, well, I was watching a person talking about how Warren Buffett now says that houses is not a good investment anymore. I think the Graham cookie was talking about that. So if house investments are not good no more, what does he recommend? Stocks. He recommends stocks because you do less work and you make more money versus a house. Where have I heard that before? I know where when people used to say flipping houses was easy money. And look where we are now. Houses are incredibly unaffordable. So if Warren Buffett says stocks is the new hot spot, well, guess what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna get into the stocks. The stocks are gonna get inflated just like houses. So maybe, get on early. Get on early because everybody's gonna start panicking with that make rich quick scheme and they're gonna start getting into stocks. The more people talk about it, the more people will get into them. And that's another thing that will later become unaffordable. Although stocks is more like a way to preserve your money and make it grow if you're lucky. It's very risky if you don't know what you're doing. Very risky. I wouldn't recommend it. I do it, but on the stocks I trust that have proved themselves for 30 years plus. So, but most people don't treat it that way. Most people just treat it like a gambling, like smart gambling. Just put it on wherever you think it's gonna grow, and hopefully you're right. So I'm learning something. I'm learning that the internet and reality do not match for some reason, and I'm trying to think what is the reason. Maybe it's because, maybe it's because the YouTubers are in different states, so they see different things. They're in different cities and they're in different tax brackets. And because they see different things, it doesn't match with me because we're different people. Maybe it's because numbers don't tell the whole story. And the numbers they're using, maybe it's the way they're using the numbers or interpreting the numbers. They could be a couple things. Those are the two things I could think of. It is true that everything is more expensive. I've always knew that for a long time. I would say I'm price sensitive. I can tell right away when something is not the way it used to be, not priced the way it used to be. So something, just like Starbucks stopped selling coffee and now they're selling adult milkshakes a long time ago. I don't know. Is it okay to always focus on money just like the US does? Always profit over anything else, profit over, yeah, for quality of life as a US mantra. It's so tricky to figure out what's going on. To the point that now as I'm speaking, I'm thinking, should I just stop looking at the internet? Because damn, I just see people on the phone while driving. It's crazy. Have you noticed that? Next time you drive in traffic or just drive normal, look left and right to you as they pass you by, and you'll see people on their phone looking down, driving for a good 4 seconds before they look up again. And yes, I was looking at that person for 4 seconds as well while I was driving too. So we both distracted. Just taking notice, so many people on their phones. Me too. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It is that damn phone. There's so many issues that's been going on with that damn phone. Drivers are more distracted. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more car crashes now after the phone invention, before the phone invention, percentage wise. I wouldn't go numbers wise. Percentage from city population versus crashes, something like that. It's so good. 7 a.m., 7:30. 7:30. There comes a time in any man's and woman's life, there comes a year, an age, a number where you get a little bit tired and it never goes away, ever. That time comes for everybody. And that time, I've been living with it for a good amount of time. And then there comes a time where that little bit of tiredness becomes a little bit heavier, just a little bit heavier. And it never goes away either. No matter how much you sleep and supplements I take and exercise and all advices of this and that, responsibilities keep adding up and that tiredness never goes away. And we're getting into energy drinks and coffee and try not to use it. But sometimes I do and it just leaves me feeling worse the next day. I don't know what's. There used to be a time where coffee would make me go to sleep. And I'm not the only one I know. And I always thought, oh, that's a superpower. That is so cool. But now it doesn't do that no more. And so I feel like I've lost my superpower to age, just like an aging Superman. I'm no longer strong. I can sleep. So what's going on with the economy, my people? Can't predict it. Can't predict the market. Can't try it my best. I can sort of predict things that are obvious, like for sure in the next 10 years, everything's going to be more expensive. That's a fact. In 100 years, it will be more expensive. Like, just it's a fact. Things keep getting more expensive because of human psychology. We never want to stay in the same number, never. Just salary wise, we never want to stay in the same number. No matter how much we're getting paid versus the world, if I'm getting paid 20 an hour next year or next 5 years, I better be paid 22 an hour. I better be paid more than 20. I can't stay into it. That's psychology right there. So imagine you're selling cheese. In 5 years, you're also going to want to sell your cheese a little bit higher. You want to make your cheese better, more production, more cheese, more cheesy. And with that will come also the thought of, if my cheese is better, why not? Why the same price? Why? Let me make it higher too. Should go with it and put in more work. Therefore, I must get more muscle. Therefore, I must drink more water and eat more food. Therefore, my cheese needs to be more expensive. Human psychology. That's it. Not the economy. Most of it is just psychology. It's just the belief that things need to be more expensive, that you can't stay on the same price. And everybody believes that. So naturally, things will go up in price. And the only time things will drop in price is when there's a revolution and a change in the government. And that follows with a change of a new coin for the country. I feel like that's the only way things will get cheaper. When the coin gets so inflated that it's like $1 billion, and then somebody comes up with a new bill, and now it gets back reduced to 10, and everybody starts going from there. I feel like that's what it is. So yeah, economies are very interesting, very tricky. It involves a lot of everything, a lot of human psychology and all that good stuff. So what's going on? It's unpredictable. Unpredictable. Is there any free ideas out here? Any free ideas? I was thinking about some stuff like, how about a robot that takes care of your baby? Now my ideas revolved around baby. Bottle, bottle that runs towards your baby. It has legs. So once you prepare the bottle, it just grows legs and it runs to your baby's mouth. There's no teeth to break, so it's an easy one. Easy pump and dump. A robot that carries your child and walks him around. You know that Tesla robot and those dancing robots of China? How about we stop making them dance and we start making them walk our babies? Just walk them around the neighborhood. And if somebody wants to steal a baby, the robot goes into killer mode, Terminator, and chases the dude and kills him. Perfect. What if you own a robot and the robot kills somebody? Are you liable to go to prison for letting your wild robot out in the streets? Or is the company who made the robot responsible? Oh, now we're getting on it. Who is responsible if a robot kills somebody? Is it who gets justice? Do we put the robot in jail? Probably the robot gets destroyed if that happens. But does the whole lineup of robots get destroyed too, or just that one? And if it gets destroyed, will that fill up the sadistic rage of the victim's family? Will that suffice, or will they want to see more oil spill on the ground for the death of their person? Makes you think. Makes you think about humanity, psychology, and justice. Are they really seeking justice or they're seeking revenge? That is the question. I would say they're seeking revenge. They will want to see somebody in jail. Like the Diddy files that apparently nobody has gone to jail. I don't know that. I don't know if they have or have not, but very interesting. Very interesting. It's just like when George Carlin said, "There's a club out there, and you ain't in it. There's a big club of people controlling your life, and you're not part of it." That's kind of what makes me think when the Diddy stuff came up, and it turns out everybody's involved. Absolutely everybody. just like the Epstein files, and nothing is done because you burn everybody. You burn the entire ship, and that's common sense. That's not conspiratorial. It's common sense. So that's a fact of life, right there. There is indeed a big club out there, and we are not part of it. Kind of just live in it, but we're not part of it. Georgie had a good insight in life, really accurate. But what do you do with information like that, anyways? So, what if it's true? How does it change your life? And it really doesn't. It really doesn't because they're very good at being invisible. It's tricky, isn't it? It's just like considering the fact that there is a God. How does that change your life? I don't know. Hopefully, it changes it for the better. So, what if there was a club out there that control everything about your life then? And you're not part of it. All these evil corporates and their evil plans for profit plans, then how do you, what if that's true? How does that change your life? I don't know. My day to day life probably doesn't change much. If it didn't exist, how much would it improve or get worse? I don't know. It's interesting thoughts, just mindlessly thinking. And when all you do is think, then you have nothing else but thoughts. So when all I do is watch videos on the economy, then that's all that I see. And then it comes clashing into reality where I don't see that being an actual thing. Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. Let's keep going with the idea. So a robot that takes care of your baby, he walks him around in the street. How about a self-driving car so that we people can finally use our phones while driving, huh? How about that? How about if you're so worried, how about we just have them self-drive while in traffic? It detects that you live in the city of Austin and New York. It goes into traffic mode, and now it accelerates and deaccelerates real quick. While you're in your phone, having dinner with your wife, Snapchatting and Zoom chatting and all that chatting up going on. That just makes me wonder, can we just do that? Because that'd be nice. If America is never going to come up with a train, this idea that somehow hasn't reached the United States of America, can we at least have a train of self-driving cars? It's the same thing. It is literally the same thing. It's just now in a highway and you don't require rails. But can we please get to that point where we can have dinner and watch a movie with popcorn while our car drives in the highway? Can we please have that already? Because it sure looks like it's possible. At least traffic. Oh, I'm passing through a toll road for 71 cents. Is what it says. I wonder how true that is. 71 cents for this morning. I'll check my phone later. Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's merge. Let's merge. Let's merge in the Austin traffic. Ooh. Ooh, let's merge again. Jeez, I had to merge three of them. Three. Three merging. So I'm not done. There's two more merges that I need to merge. Damn. Why are they like this, America? But if this was a train instead, I could automatically, my car would automatically request a merging request to my neighbor car, and the neighbor car would allow me to merge automatically because he has no power over traffic anymore since he can no longer has the right to own the car. He no longer owns the streets. And so everybody would allow me to merge and solve my issue. So that brings me to the next topic. If purchasing an audiobook is not owning, it's leasing. Because Amazon took off the famous book 1984 off their Kindle library, and whoever purchased the book, then good for you, but also you lost it with no refund. And then for video games, there was one game about cars that also got taken out of the store. And if you own it, then good luck because now you no longer own it or something like that. There's games like that that do that. So owning is no longer owning, it's just leasing. You're just renting. A lot of things we just rent. When you think about it, we rent the electricity, our air conditioner, we rent our car. Well, let me see. Do we rent our car? Maybe not so much our car, but our house for sure. Anybody who owns a house out there, you're renting it from the government. They don't tell you that part. But by definition, you are renting it. Because once you pay it off, you have those taxes every year. And if you don't pay those taxes every year, they'll take away your house, which means you're renting it from the government. Now, those taxes keep going up every year because why not? Things just do. And therefore, you have an increase in taxes, which is the same as having an increase in rent. If you're paying like $10,000 at the end of the year in house taxes, divided by 12, and you get something like $800 per month. So that's rent, a cheaper rent, but it's rent nonetheless. There'll come a point in which your taxes are so high that you'll end up paying just as much as rent, 1,500, 600 per month. So that's one thing. Movies for sure, but movies we've always known that we don't own them if you watch through the Netflix or Amazon or any of those. If you own the physical copy, perhaps the CD, you do own it. I don't know if they're doing that trick anymore, like in video games where you just buy the CD and it's a key to the internet so that they can access the movie online. Could happen, could be. I don't know, very sure if they've done that to movies, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. So, my next question here is not a question, my bad. Just looking at the toll road prices. This one is 71 cents. How do toll roads work? I don't get it. Every time you pass through a camera, do you get charged? Is it per mile? Is it per street? I don't know how toll roads work, but I would say that's how they work. Anyways, what else is not owning? Video games is not owning anymore if you buy them online, which is all of them now. I've thought about Apple products also not being ownable anymore because one, they're not fixable. So if they break, if you manage to keep one for 10 years, for sure you're not going to be able to repair it anymore. And when you do, if you manage to hire a professional, you're still going to have to not be able to do a lot of things just because of this is tricky. I'm gonna get into a car crash. Woo! All right, did it. Damn, Austin, got some weird ass streets. The merging here sucks. What's the other thing? What's the other thing that I want? You gotta merge from zero to a highway. You're gonna merge. That's Austin. You don't make sense. You're not weird. You're just competent. God damn, I said it. The streets. Whoever planned the streets just to get a different job. All right. So where was I? I'm kind of lost my train of thought over here. Ha, but we don't have trains. I lost my self-driving thought over here. Driving in this place, this forbidden quagmire. What else is renting? Oh yeah, your iPhone, because you can't really own it. So if you don't own your iPhone, you kind of repair it, and in 10 years the software stops working. So do you really own your phone? In fact, do you really own your Apple Watch, your Garmin, all those electronic watches? Because let's say in 10 years, that software is going to be too old. It might not even work anymore. It'll break one day. At what point is it considered renting? Let's say if my phone lasts 10 years, that's good, right? But it doesn't last 11. So did I actually own it for those 10 years or did I lease it? What if it lasted 2 years? And then I have to get a new one because now I just stopped working. Is that leasing, renting, or owning? You know, what if it lasts a month? That's a scam, right? Depending on what price you pay. If you pay $1, even if you pay $1, you have to buy a phone for $1 every month. That's renting. That's one of those monthly payments. So if I have to change my phone every 10 years, am I renting it, leasing it, or is that just normal? Because everything breaks down. Eventually, even a shovel will break, and you do have to buy it later again. Things are not meant to be permanent. But my point is, at what time period does it become like a scam of renting? What if a phone lasted 20 years and then you have to change it every 20 years? That's okay, right? But that means that you have to do it 5 times during your lifetime if you're lucky. So you're just leasing for 20 years. Like a house could last you a lifetime, maybe 30 years plus. just because of how much later you get the house in your life. So it just makes me think. I guess it's more philosophical in here. If a phone broke every 30 years, is that owning? Or is it not time wise? Is it if you can repair it or not? What if you cannot repair it, but it lasts you 30 years? Nothing ever breaks in 30 years. Is that owning? But once it breaks, you cannot fix it. Let's get philosophical here. What makes something be owned? Because I can own a CD and a CD player from the 90s, but does it still work? Let's say it does. That's almost 30 years. And if it breaks, I can open it up and fix it. And maybe I can find a replacement, but maybe not. Let's say I don't find replacements no more. Even though I'm able to fix it, nobody makes parts like that anymore because we're in tariffs with China. And it's 30-year-old technology that we use no more, so nobody makes it. We forgot how to make it. Maybe it was owning back then, but it's not owning anymore today because I cannot repair it. Not because of the factory and engineer on obsolescence, but because our times change and our technology went too further. So is that owning or not owning? It's a tricky one. I'm getting to the weeds of it, but right now it's more of a feeling, and that's what we can go for. I don't feel like I own my technology, and I don't feel like I own my movies or my games or my car or my house. But do I own my washing machine? For the last 8 years, I don't know. See how philosophical this can get? Do we really own or not own? Is it even a thing? Are things meant to last that long, anyways? 10 years and above? 5? How long is something meant to last so that you can call it ownership? And even if it's repairable, what if there's no pieces to repair them with after 10 years? Let's say it should last you 10 years, but after 5, we just don't make those parts anymore. Not because the company decided to, but because the entire world got nuclear energy from an alien spaceship, and now we don't use that type of tech. So, do you really own that? Does it go into the trash? Cool, isn't it? Makes me think. Makes me think. But yeah, right now we do have the normal issue that not swappable batteries and things like that's a much easier issue. Less philosophical. Much less. I think there's a different turn in my free idea podcast right now. I like to use it more as a diary because I really don't have the time anymore to be thinking of ideas. I think them on the spot. My life is very complicated right now. I got a lot of stuff to do every week at work, and then weekends I got more stuff to do and a lot of responsibilities at home. So I'm not sure what's going on in here. So yeah, I'm changing the format a little bit. Let's say it's evolving with me. It's evolving with the times. I'm still gonna try to come up with ideas as much as I can. They usually used to come to me because I was doing a more physical job, which would let my mind rest, and I'll have a lot of time to think. Now it's the opposite. Now my body doesn't move much, and I use my brain a lot. So my brain is tired, and sometimes all it wants to do is just complain, just complain. And although I don't want to make a podcast be all about negativity, it's kind of what I'm surrounding myself into. So it bleeds into it. All the news I watch and everything about the economy and everything that goes in my life, I'm surrounding myself into a lot of that stuff over the internet. Oh, did you hear that Trump or Melania made deep fakes of porn fake crime? Something like that. I'll end it with that. Bye.